Fear has a strange way of convincing you that it's protecting you, even when it's the very thing pulling you into danger. When you trade every red candle like it's a warning, every pullback like it's a threat, every hesitation like it's a sign, you don't realize how much of your trading is being done by fear, not you. Leo and Zoe both hit that point without knowing it. The market wasn't hurting them. Their mind was. And the moment they stopped guessing how their mind behaved and started measuring it, everything they thought they knew about trading flipped upside down. Because AI doesn't read your strategy. It reads you. And when it reads you, it shows you patterns you swear you didn't have. If you want content that transforms your trading mind and strengthens your psychological edge, subscribe Mind for Trade. Leo's turning point began on a random Sunday evening. He was scrolling through his trading journal, the one he promised to keep, the one he barely updated. And he realized every losing streak had the same tone. Got scared. Closed too early. Didn't trust my analysis. Felt pressure. Needed confirmation. Not one losing streak mentioned bad strategy. It was all emotion. He uploaded some screen recordings into an AI behavioral model. He expected technical feedback. Maybe something like, your risk to reward is off, or your confirmation bias is too strong. Something about charts. Something about entries. Something about setups. But the AI didn't highlight charts. It highlighted pauses. Micro hesitations in his hand movement before clicking. Slight delays between seeing a setup and acting on it. Quick reaction spikes whenever price moved fast. The AI picked up stress patterns he didn't notice. It showed him something he never realized. His decisions weren't late because of analysis. They were late because of fear. The data didn't lie. There were timestamps, micro-reactions, input delays measured down to fractions of seconds. It shocked him, because every trader blames the market. Every trader thinks, I'm just being cautious. But the AI didn't show caution. It showed avoidance. He wasn't waiting for confirmation. He was waiting for fear to stop yelling at him. Zoe's shift came differently. She didn't analyze screen recordings. She didn't study click delays. She connected her smartwatch data to her trading app, something simple, something she didn't expect would matter. And suddenly, her heart rate patterns were mapped onto her trades. She wasn't scared during losses. She was scared before entries. Her heart rate spiked the moment she pulled up a chart she wanted to trade. Her breathing changed when the candle moved close to a level she had marked hours earlier. She wasn't reacting to danger. She was reacting to possibility. The idea of being wrong stressed her more than the actual trade. AI didn't show her fear. It showed her anticipation. And anticipation was eating her alive. Leo hesitated because of past losses. Zoe hesitated because of future losses. Two different versions of the same trap. Two different doorways into the same fear cycle. And that's the part no trader sees until it's shown to them in data. Fear isn't one thing. It has different faces, different triggers, different emotional fingerprints. The more you think you have it under control, the deeper it hides. AI didn't judge them. It revealed them. And once something is revealed, it can be changed. Fear cycle breaks the moment you know exactly where it begins. Not in theory, but in your personal pattern. Leo's pattern was micro-freeze before entries. Zoe's pattern was emotional forecasting. And once they saw it, they stopped blaming the market for things happening inside their own minds. But awareness isn't enough. Clarity isn't transformation. Seeing the pattern doesn't make it disappear. What changes everything is designing a new state, a focus mode strong enough to interrupt fear before it takes over. And AI became the guide, not because it predicted outcomes, but because it showed how their mind behaved under pressure. For Leo, the AI recommended a behavioral micro-rule, a stillness window, 2 seconds of silence before executing anything, not strategy-based, not technical, just stillness. It analyzed hundreds of his hesitations and found a strange truth. If he paused intentionally, his fear lost its grip. Fear relies on speed. Fear feeds on urgency. Fear collapses when you interrupt its rhythm. The first time he tried it, he felt weird. Standing still for 2 seconds with his finger hovering over the mouse felt like a lifetime. But something shifted. His hand stopped shaking. His mind stopped racing. He made his first clean decision in weeks, and the market didn't magically reward him. His mind did. 2 seconds became his doorway into focus mode. Zoe's shift came through something even simpler: visual reduction. The AI analyzed her eye movement patterns on the chart and showed her the real issue. She wasn't scared of price. She was overwhelmed by noise. Indicators, colors, signals, alerts, everything screaming for attention. Her brain wasn't afraid of losing money. It was overstimulated. And overstimulation feels like danger. When the AI suggested she trade on a stripped-down chart, she resisted at first. It felt too empty, too minimal, too not enough. But the first time she looked at that clean chart, she breathed. For the first time, she wasn't fighting information. She was finally seeing price. Her focus mode wasn't a mindset. It was an environment. Leo changed his rhythm. Zoe changed her visual world. 2 beginners, 2 triggers, 2 different ways out of the same fear loop. And that's what most traders misunderstand. You don't overcome fear through motivation. You don't beat it by forcing discipline. You don't outrun it by trading more. Fear is not a battle. It's a pattern. And patterns don't break by accident. They break by design. Leo and Zoe kept doing their micro steps until something subtle, almost invisible, began to shift. They started reacting slower, but thinking clearer. They entered fewer trades, but with more confidence. They held their positions longer, but with less stress. They stopped chasing candles. They stopped predicting outcomes. They stopped fighting themselves. The market didn't become easier. Their mind became quieter. Their old self would panic at a slight pullback. The new self waited for structure. Their old self felt pressure when price moved fast. The new self breathed through volatility. Their old self felt fear rising with every candle. The new self observed without reacting. They weren't becoming fearless. They were becoming stable. Their emotional reactions didn't vanish. They simply lost control over decisions. And once a trader reaches that point, that calm, steady internal place, everything changes. The market feels less like a battlefield and more like a rhythm. Time slows down. Decisions feel intentional instead of rushed. Mistakes stop feeling like failures and start becoming information. Drawdowns stop feeling like emergencies. Wins stop feeling like validation. Trading stops feeling like survival. It starts feeling like clarity. And clarity is the foundation of focus mode. Leo started entering trades without hesitation. Zoe started holding trades without emotional spikes. They both started trusting their analysis because they finally trusted themselves. Their identity shifted long before their results did. They stopped identifying as scared traders. They stopped labeling themselves as inconsistent. They stopped whispering, "I hope this works," before every entry. They became the version of themselves they didn't know they could be. Precise, controlled, stable, calm, intentional, focused. Not perfect, not robotic, just aligned. Their mind was no longer fighting the market. Their mind was finally matching the market. That identity is everything. Because once you become someone who can stay focused, decisions become clean. Fear stops running the show. Anxiety stops hijacking your entries. Hesitation stops determining your future. The market stops feeling like a threat and starts feeling like a system you can understand and respond to. Leo stopped trading to avoid pain. Zoe stopped trading to avoid mistakes. They both started trading because they finally had a mind designed for it. And if you're tired of trading with the version of you that reacts, overthinks, hesitates, panics, chases, fears, collapses, then you're standing at the exact doorway Leo and Zoe stood at. Fear doesn't leave your trading quietly. It leaves one layer at a time. Slowly, subtly, almost invisibly. And that's the part no one prepares you for. The shift from fear cycle to focus mode isn't dramatic. It's not a big emotional breakthrough. It starts with tiny signals your mind almost ignores, until one day the entire way you see the market changes. Leo and Zoe both reached that point without trying to be stronger. They reached it because something finally gave them a mirror so accurate, so uncomfortably honest, that they couldn't hide from their own patterns anymore. Not a mentor, not a course, not motivation, AI, and not the predictive kind, the reflective kind, the kind that reads your behavior, not the market. Leo didn't understand the power of that at first. He expected AI to give him better entries, sharper timing, more precision. Instead, it reflected his mind back to him in a way he couldn't escape. That was the first time he realized his trading wasn't failing because of strategy. It was failing because fear was quietly sitting behind every click. Micro pauses, rushed exits, over-confirmation, late execution. Tiny behaviors he thought were normal were actually emotional fingerprints. And AI didn't just highlight the mistakes. It highlighted the moment before the mistakes, the pre-emotion, the hesitation window. The exact second fear took control. The model showed him charts of his own behavior, how long he hovered before clicking, how his decisions sped up under pressure, how his confidence collapsed during volatility spikes. Leo stared at those patterns, like he was seeing a stranger. But it wasn't a stranger. It was his trading identity, exposed. Zoe's realization hit even harder. She always felt nervous while trading, but she assumed it was normal. Everyone gets nervous, right? But when her smartwatch data synced with her trading sessions, the AI didn't show nerves. It showed emotional overload. Her heart rate spiked before entries. Her pulse flattened during losing trades. Her stress peaked when she was waiting, not when she was in a trade. She suddenly saw what she never noticed. Her body reacted to uncertainty more than risk. She wasn't scared of losing money. She was scared of making the wrong decision. Fear cycle wasn't about price. It was about identity. The identity of, I hope this is right. The identity of, please don't go against me. The identity of, I don't want to mess this up. AI didn't show Zoe her weaknesses. It showed her emotional triggers. And that changed everything. Because the moment you know the trigger, you can build the switch. Leo's switch came down to rhythm. The AI showed him a pattern. Every losing streak began with speed. Not market speed, his speed. His mind started rushing before the chart did. His breathing got shorter, his hand movements got faster, his decisions got sloppy. He wasn't reacting to price. He was reacting to internal pressure. The model ran simulations and recommended a simple behavioral disruptor. 2 seconds. 2 seconds of stillness before entering any position. Not to analyze, not to doubt. Just to interrupt the fear cycle. Those 2 seconds weren't about the market. They were about Leo reclaiming his mind. The first time he tried it, he felt something strange, something unfamiliar. Control, not full control, but enough to make one clean decision. And one clean decision was enough to show him something new. Fear loses power when you slow the moment down. Zoe's switch was different. She wasn't rushing. She was drowning. Charts overloaded her senses. Indicators screamed for attention. Colors fired signals into her brain like alarms. Her AI model showed her something wild. Her eyes scanned too many areas of the chart too quickly. Her brain interpreted information density as danger. Noise was triggering her fear cycle. The solution wasn't psychological. It was visual. The AI suggested reducing her chart to the bare minimum, raw price. No indicators, no colors, no distractions, just structure. At first, she resisted. Empty charts felt wrong, unsafe, incomplete. But the first time she looked at that clean chart, something softened inside her. Her breathing slowed. Her shoulders relaxed. Price finally looked like movement, not chaos. She wasn't overwhelmed anymore. She was present. That was her doorway to focus mode. Leo's doorway was rhythm. Zoe's doorway was simplicity. 2 different minds, 2 different patterns, 2 different paths to clarity. And that's the truth so few traders understand. Focus mode isn't one state. It's not one formula. It's not one identity. It's the natural state your mind enters when you remove the exact trigger that activates your fear cycle. Leo removed urgency. Zoe removed noise. Fear cycle had nothing left to grip. Over the next few days, the shifts weren't dramatic, but they were undeniable. Leo started entering trades without the sharp rush of panic behind him. His 2-second pause created a small gap between stimulus and reaction, a gap where clarity could breathe. His thoughts felt cleaner. His entries felt intentional. His exits felt less emotional. He didn't need to fight fear, because fear didn't get a chance to speak first anymore. Zoe began trading with a calm she had never known. The absence of visual overload rewired her responses. She held trades longer. She waited for structure naturally. She wasn't scanning aggressively. She wasn't bracing with every candle. Her mind finally matched the speed of the market. She wasn't faster. She wasn't smarter. She was simply aligned. That alignment is the beginning of focus mode. It's the moment your actions stop coming from fear and start coming from intention. Focus mode isn't confidence. It's neutrality, a quiet mind, a stable emotional rhythm. Leo and Zoe both reached it slowly, like a fog lifting from their decisions. Leo stopped clicking too quickly. Zoe stopped reacting too loudly inside her own head. Both of them discovered the same truth from different angles. The opposite of fear isn't bravery. The opposite of fear is clarity. Clarity creates consistency. Consistency builds discipline. Discipline protects your decisions. Their emotional world changed before their trading results did. And that's how identity transformation always begins. Leo started recognizing patterns earlier. Zoe started trusting her analysis longer. Both started feeling less volatile inside. Their trading didn't become perfect. Their trading became stable. And stability is the foundation every trader dreams of but rarely builds. Because most traders try to fix emotions with willpower. Leo and Zoe fixed emotions with awareness and design. AI had shown them their invisible loops, and they built their way out of them. Focus mode wasn't a magical state. It was who they were becoming. Calm, present, neutral, precise, reacting less, observing more. Trading from intention, not impulse. Their identity shifted, not gradually, but inevitably. Once you've seen your fear pattern in data, you can't unsee it. Once you know your trigger, you can't pretend it's random. Once you experience clarity, chaos feels foreign. Leo no longer acted like a scared trader waiting to be proven wrong. Zoe no longer acted like an anxious trader trying not to mess up. They stepped into the identity of someone built for the market, someone steady, deliberate, focused, quietly confident. Not because they erased fear, but because they outgrew it. If you felt something inside this story, if you recognized pieces of Leo or Zoe in yourself, if you're tired of fear making decisions before you do, then you're standing at the same doorway they stood at. And there is only one way forward from here, into the version of you designed for clarity, designed for discipline, designed for stability, designed for the markets you want to win. If you're ready to evolve your trading mind, subscribe Mind for Trade.